It's Forms of Faith, and I'm back with another dream.
And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out of my Spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams.
Today is September 17th, 2023. I had this dream at 9:04 a.m., and the dream goes as follows. I was in a house. This house was very huge. Looked like it could have been a loft also combined into the house. I remember my grandmother and my aunt being there. It's like they could have been cooking, like we were getting ready to have like some festivities. And I remember me and my sister, I remember feeling in the dream that me and my sister were more financially stable. And there was this individual, don't know how they came about, but I remember the imagery of the person being one of the Tubi movie actresses. And in the dream, she came around, and it was a female. She came around, and it's like automatically I knew that this person was not to be trusted, and that this person was no good. Basically, like this person was a straight thing from the devil, if not the devil itself. And I remember knowing not to trust this individual, and the individual came around like it would help, if we needed. It was as if it was trying to imply that if we wanted to be like actresses or actors or whatever, however, that, they would help us with those type of things whatsoever, so forth. And I remember going to like a grocery store, and I remember I ended up seeing the individual again. And the individual was like, I think the individual was talking to us. And I remember a notion told me to get the kids, and I grabbed two of my boys, and that same individual who came around shapeshifted into a guy and was over there by my son trying to bother my other son. And I remember seeing it lurk in between the aisles before it got to my child, but it got to him before when I was looking for him. And I remember later on seeing the individual in the park. And I remember in the park, it seemed like it was either me or my sister. It seemed like we got really, really ill. Like one of us was like really sick, because I remember us being like really pale and like kind of grayish around the eyes. It was really weird. And I remember that same demonic individual saying that they needed my sister's name. They needed my sister's name. And it's as if someone could have wrote my sister's name down in a napkin, and she grabbed it, and it's like this vehicle automatically drove up by itself. She jumped in the driver's seat, but you could tell she wasn't going to drive, as if it drove off by itself, because she was looking at me, and as the car drove off, the door slammed shut, and I caught a glimpse of her eye, and it looked kind of like a reptilian like eye, like kind of scaly, like the half of her face and everything turned scaly. And after that, I remember there being this light in the sky, this beaming light in the sky, and there was something that had been thrown on the earth, and it was spiraling and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. And when it spiraled, and when it got ready to hit the ground, instead of it hitting the ground opened up, and it still fell when the ground opened up. Like all of the ground opened up for it. It made way to like a tunnel down, and it kept falling and 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 kept falling. until it finally hit this rock. And when it hit this rock, it's like the dust that flew up from the rock began to spin out into colors. And then these colors began to project. And as they project, they went about into this individual. And I heard that the war was getting ready to take place upon the earth. And I woke up and it was 9:04. So that wraps that dream up.
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is very pure, therefore thy servant loveth it. Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee. This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word hath quickened me. Let, I pray thee, thy merciful kindness be for my comfort, according to thy word unto thy servant. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein. The time is at hand.